So I have Cynthia Salas with me today. Cynthia has done so many amazing things for the industry. If you do not know who she is, you're missing out a lot. Um, she is critical, absolutely critical to the energy grid and everything that we do. But I know in your chapter, Cynthia, you talked about when you were growing up, that you didn't know what electrical engineering was. And that was a
Yes.
question that you asked. And I'm like so glad that you did ask it because sometimes people don't have the opportunity to ask it, or they don't have
Yeah.
somebody that they could talk to about it. So tell us a little bit about what you do like on a regular basis besides saving the world and making sure that they have enough energy to, power forward.
Right, right. So I am a
Mhm.
system protection engineer.
Right.
So on a daily basis, we're, making sure that our grid is working the way it should be. So our
Yep.
customers at Austin, um, definitely have power on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. So the work that we do, it is very technical. It's technical, it's critical. And I think that's why I also enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very challenging as
Yeah.
well. So there's always an opportunity to learn on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis different things. So to me, that just makes my job a lot more enjoyable
Right.
because I have the opportunity to learn more and more.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, I mean, I've been in this working group for a little bit over 9 years, 10.
Wow,
And
that's
so, and
good.
even though I've been in this group for that
Mm-hmm.
long, believe it or not, I'm still learning new things.
Right.
And then plus technology is changing.
Yeah.
And so that's also exciting to see how much of an impact we're
Yeah.
going to get with AI coming in as well.
Right.
So there's still a lot of unknowns, still a lot of unanswers, right? A lot of questions also to ask.
Yeah, a lot.
But a lot definitely. And so, but I really like the fact though that there's that opportunity. It's not the same thing
Mm-hmm.
and over that we're doing, so it's definitely a lot of responsibility as
Yep.
well. And so that's one thing that also keeps me on my toes.
Yep.
And we have such a great working group too. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think that's the second thing that I really like where I'm at right now is we have such a great team. Everyone's a
Right.
team player. Everyone's willing
Good.
to share their knowledge. And we're always teaching and learning from one another. So that's always really good to
Perfect.
have in a team environment. So.
Yes, that is wonderful. And I know you mentioned AI, and I'm just like, this is just me just asking randomly. Like, there are a lot of things happening with AI in terms of the amount of power that it needs and what that's doing to the grid. Can you tell me, this is just my curiosity, can you tell
Yes.
me a little bit more about that?
Well, I'm actually in your same boat because those are questions I myself, we're
Oh,
asking each other, as well. How much of an
hmm.
impact this is going to change?
Right.
So I think we're still in the very early stages
Mm-hmm.
of really trying to
Yeah.
understand and know where this is going to lead us. But hopefully good though. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really staying positive that with new technology emerging with AI.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the long run, it's going to be very beneficial
Oh, yeah.
for us and for the world too. We all know that electricity power it's an essential item. It's a
Mm-hmm.
must
It
have.
is.
So we really cannot function
No,
without
I
it.
cannot.
The
I'm
world,
sorry.
the
I'm not.
world cannot function
Yeah.
exactly without
Yeah.
it. So I'm saying very hopeful that
Mm-hmm.
with the new technology coming into play or being looked at
Mm-hmm.
in the long run is definitely going to bring a lot of benefits.
Right.
And I'm sure there's going to be some challenges, some
It has to
barriers that
be.
we're going to have to have. It's part of
It
it,
has
part
to
of the
be. Yeah.
packet, and part of the packet. But it's going to be though, hopefully good for everyone. So, but I am also in your same boat.
Yeah.
We're also having those type of conversations, like, how do you think it's going to look?
Yeah.
How's it gonna? When do you think it's going to happen? And
Right.
so. So there's still a lot of, questions being thrown out in the air, but we all definitely are excited for it
Mm-hmm.
though.
Yeah, and I'm glad that, there is this evolution because I mean, first of all, if it was static, it would be so boring.
Right,
Um,
agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
but this this change, this evolution, the new need for power, trying to, and I know this affects the way that you would structure the grid, the way that you need to dispatch power, all of those great things in life. So I'm so glad that we have you on our side, helping us to figure that out.
Yeah.
Very glad for that. So tell us a little bit about why you wanted to write this chapter.
Um, so I've never written a chapter. This is
Hmm.
my first chapter.
Nice. You did a
So I
great
was,
job. Just
no,
saying.
thank you. Thank you. But the one thing is I really wanted to tell a little bit about my story
Right.
as to thanks to that one question that you just
Mm-hmm.
mentioned at the beginning, of asking what an
Yes.
electrical engineer is. I believe this is where I'm at because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to the folks that helped
Yeah.
me get here too as well, who guided me and
Mm-hmm.
provided, and that neighbor of mine I
Yes.
happened to be an electrical engineer, it planted the seed in me. And I feel like, there's people that sometimes I talk to that are a lot younger than I
Mm-hmm.
am or still in school that
Right.
still don't really know what engineering is,
Mm-hmm.
what an electrical engineer does. And so when I heard about this, I'm like, you know what? I feel like I really need to start also sharing,
Definitely.
how it all happened,
Mm-hmm.
how I got here. And of course, I do that with, the younger ones as I
Mm-hmm.
come along and meet with, trying to shine or promote a little bit more engineering because
Right.
I still feel like we still have a lot of work to do there
We do. We
too.
definitely
So
do.
yeah, so that definitely for me was a motivation and inspiring aspect of it, of writing this chapter, of trying to, promote more electrical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
especially, within the female,
Yes.
with all the women. Believe
Mm-hmm.
it or not, where I'm at, it's very limited, as
Yep.
far as not many women are in the industry, despite me being already in the career for more than 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around 10 years. So we're still lacking. We're still
Mm-hmm.
lacking and hoping, and I'm really saying hopeful too that, more and more women will start to step into
Right.
these roles. Because they're definitely needed.
Yes.
So it's so hopefully I get to see that.
Yes.
I'll get to see
Yes.
that.
I know you definitely will because you're doing so much to like help bring that and to bridge that gap. And I'm glad you spoke about that because while we have a limited number of women in engineering, there are also a fewer number of Hispanic women in engineering.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Yeah.
like you're still missing some, but you're missing even less, right? So
Right.
it's about bringing that representation, helping people to
Correct.
know and to understand that you can be part of the solution.
Correct.
It should not, it's never about gender or background, once you
Never.
have once you have that curiosity and
Hmm.
you want to be involved in it, then definitely, follow that path. Follow if you have a neighbor, especially if you have a neighbor
Yes.
who's an electrical engineer, ask them about it.
That was a blessing. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thanks to him, I'm very, very thankful with Mr.
Yep.
Johnson. Thanks to
Mm-hmm.
that conversation and
Yeah.
him planting that seed in me, it just gave me that curiosity
Right.
and then also that guidance
Yeah.
into wanting to explore that career path.
Mm-hmm.
Because prior to that, and actually, what I thought about doing was psychology.
Wow.
And so
Interesting.
once though I had this conversation with my neighbor, and as I started going through high school, and I'm like, no, I feel like engineering is my calling.
Yeah.
And having that mentor, Mr. Johnson, by my side also was very, very helpful. So I really do
Yeah.
encourage, especially other professionals, despite it doesn't matter what career you're in,
Mm-hmm.
you could definitely be that mentor for someone out there. It
Mm-hmm.
really does change their lives. It
It
does.
does. It does. And even there's sometimes that you don't even realize that you are a mentor by just
Right.
existing.
It's
So,
true. Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you shared your story with us, Cynthia. So
Oh,
glad that you
happy to
could
do so.
help inspire more people. But what would you say to maybe the kids, or even, like you mentioned, people who are already within the industry, to get them inspired about STEM or get them involved in STEM, because you mentioned that you wanted to do psychology, which is part of STEM too, right? It's a softer side, but guess what? STEM is all around us. So
You're right.
what would you say to inspire more people to get involved in STEM, even if they think they are not involved in STEM yet?
Well, definitely, there's definitely a lot of opportunity in this in the STEM area. Especially it's very diversified.
Right.
So that's one thing that I feel like it does give you that opportunity to explore,
Mm-hmm.
what direction or path you would like to go, whether it's science, whether it's technology, engineering, manufacturing.
Right.
There's so many different avenues
Mm-hmm.
available, and I think that's one thing that not many people know, that
Mm-hmm.
they think like, oh, it's just,
Yeah,
only
it's just
science,
hard. Yeah.
that's it. No, I mean, there's so many different things that or avenues that you can take depending on what calls what's
Yeah.
your passion, what calls you. So I would definitely encourage them to explore it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the opportunities that are there and because it's very diversified as to
Yep.
there's many different things that you can choose from
Yeah.
within that career paths that you end up taking. So that's one thing too. I would definitely
Yep.
recommend the young ones to definitely consider options. There's definitely a lot of options.
There are so many options. I mean, we're not limited.
Right.
And definitely with the way things are going today, jobs that
Hmm.
exist today did not exist 10 years ago. So
Exactly. Exactly.
you have some research to do.
Yes. Agreed.
Oh my gosh, Cynthia,
Okay.
thank you so much for your time this morning, for
Oh, you're
writing the
very, very welcome.
chapter, for representing the Hispanic electrical engineering woman, you
Oh,
know, burning that light and making sure that they have that pathway to follow. I'm so glad that you did that. Thank you so much for doing
oh,
that.
you're very welcome. Very welcome. And I really do hope that, in the future like I said, I get to see a lot
Yes,
more.
definitely. Definitely. We are pushing towards that. We will definitely have
Great.
some more women getting involved, and Hispanic women as well. But if you haven't checked out the book yet, Empowering Women in STEM, the third edition, Cynthia is chapter 23, and of course, she talks about increasing Hispanic representation of electrical engineering woman in that field. And she talks about her journey and everything that she kind of went through. Loved your chapter. Thank you so much for everything. And we
You're
will talk
welcome.
soon. All right.
Sounds good. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.